When it comes to spectacle in Elden Ring Nightreign, the Kigo Fissure in the Fog boss fight does not disappoint, and the Everdark Sovereign version of this boss is no different. Leveraging frost and ice attacks, the miasma of the Night Dragon is sure to test you and your teammates. If you're struggling, don't worry, we're here to help. Without further ado, here's how to beat the Fissure in the Fog Everdark Sovereign in Elden Ring Nightreign. Before you go up against Kigo, you should know that the dragon is weak to fire and bludgeoning/strike attacks. However, he is going to be strong against magic, lightning, holy/frostbite, and sleep attacks, so keep those in mind when preparing to face this boss. You'll want at least one party member who's doing fire or strike attacks to deal with the boss's gimmick during the fight. Kigo will don frozen armor during the fight, so you'll want to be breaking through the armor with those fire or strike attacks as often as possible. Quick note that Kigo is still normally affected by bleed, poison, and rot buildups, so you may want to keep these as a backup in case you can't get the ideal build. And last, the best strategy to prepare for this boss fight is to trigger the Shifting Earth mountaintop. You'll want to climb to the top of the mountain to claim the frostbite resistance, as well as defeat the flying dragon boss that spawns near the top to take the anti-dragon effect buff. As for the best character used in the Everdark Sovereign, you'll want to have characters that either are accessible to reliable fire or strike damage, or can reach Kigo's head reliably. Although Wilder struggles to reach Kigo's head, his mobility allows him to keep up with Kigo's constant movement. Additionally, the movement gives him constant access to Flaming Strike for reliable fire damage. Recluse and Revenant are equally effective with their high faith scaling and ability to effectively use seals. While Recluse has the FP regeneration, Revenant has her second summon, Frederick, for some blunt damage. And of course, an Iron Eye with a fire bow will absolutely devastate this dragon for one reason: range. Being able to reach and destroy several pieces of Kigo's armor is invaluable in this fight. Okay, let's talk actual boss fight. This version of Kigo is unique among Everdark Sovereigns in that the new phase attacks are largely the same as the original fight, just a new skin with similar flavor. As such, the difficulty phase in this fight is more of a battle of attrition against Kigo's new gimmick, rather than a test of learning new attacks. Most of Kigo's attacks in this fight will unleash purple miasma with stars within. However, this appears to be a more effective, shinier version of frost breath attacks, as opposed to anything new. Kigo's phase transition this time around is oddly less dangerous than it appears, and only the final explosion can deal any significant damage. As this move puts on his armor, it's recommended to make the most of this attack by getting a few cheap hits in before retreating to safe distance. The most frequent and easiest to underestimate attack in Kigo's move pool is his Spinning Ice Miasma attack. This move is especially deadly if you're staggered by an explosion, struck by a slice, and finished by a delayed burst. While the safest place is under Kigo, it is unlikely most will make it to him. Therefore, either find the safe place in between the nodes or just keep your distance. Winter Vortex is Kigo's newest move, completely separate from any moves in the original fight. The laser he shoots gives very little warning, and the pillar's formation requires you to stop immediately and run away. The Vortex will continue to deal chip damage to all those within it, but even once the initial Vortex is gone, Frostbite will affect the whole arena. You can stop this before the Vortex and its effects run out by staggering Kigo. The first part of the fight is simply standard fare. You'll fight Kigo as you would normally in the second phase of his original fight. However, once you reach the 60 to 70% threshold of his health, Kigo will transform into his new Everdark Sovereign form. You'll notice Kigo don some frost armor. With his armor on, Kigo will have to be struck with either fire or strike damage to really feel any pain. Use these attacks to lob off his armor on his head, body, tail, and wings. Each can have their armor destroyed to deal an extra amount of damage and temporarily stagger Kigo. With all this in mind, the main idea behind defeating Kigo is to keep hitting the parts that remove his armor. A good strategy in a full team can be to always have one on the head, while the other two focus on the body and tail. Quick tip that this armor on Kigo will regenerate each time he repeats his phase transition move. If any of your teammates go down, the best time to get them back up are during the spinning ice attack or while Kigo regenerates his frozen armor. Defeating Kigo in the Everdark Sovereign fight will reward you with the Dark Knight of the Miasma relic. The 3 traits for this relic are Frostbite nearby conceals you, your starting weapons deal frost, and physical damage negation is improved. We know you've got this. Good luck on your next hunt.